Last minute episode 3. Cam's shaking his head at me.
It's just like the 5th time.
It's not the 5th.
It's the 2nd.
The first time I hurt my elbow and
Yeah, that took
it
a
started
while.
bleeding again. It still hurts, okay? It was
Guys,
a rough
just to
Friday
fill you
night.
in, if you ever
Leafs
see
fans'
Greg,
problems.
if you ever see Greg on the weekend walking down a sidewalk, do yourself a favor and just pick him up and drive him home. Because Greg's got a problem with the nectar of Satan sucking upon the tit of the devil.
Teat.
Just kidding. The teat.
Let's be honest here, though, for a second. It's not like I drive drunk. I walk home drunk. And I get home safely.
Yeah, from very scary places.
Doesn't matter how far the walk is.
Okay, fine.
Greg has been known to bicycle through a McDonald's drive-thru. Also,
no, walk through it.
And
which they're not allowed to do anymore.
What also happened on that walk?
Oh, when I fell down?
Yeah. Well, you fell down. So
I apparently fell down. I broke my phone.
That's what I was leading to. You broke your phone. Did that cost you money?
I was phoneless for a day. It's still an iPhone 5.
Oh.
I just got a life-proof case. Oh. It should actually say Greg-proof.
Greg-proof, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
My life's in shambles.
Nice.
No, but the way I knew that I fell was I woke up in a pool of my own blood. And my mattress and my sheets were all bloody. I'm like, why? What happened?
You didn't notice while you were walking?
I had no recollection that I was bleeding.
Did you wake up with any food?
No.
You usually do.
I know, I'm a little choked.
Hey, you're getting a little better. That's okay. A little healthier. choice.
No McDonald's this time.
The midnight snacking.
He was bleeding everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, but...
Hey,
yeah, that's true.
You know what? When you lose blood, that drops the LBs just a little bit.
That's terrible. Did you just tell people to cut themselves
No.
to lose weight?
Greg does not endorse.
I do not.
Here at Last Minute Podcast, we do not endorse anything Greg says anymore, ever.
No, we never have.
Ever.
Now we're coming out.
Guys,
thanks for coming out today, Dan.
This is a hockey podcast,
No
and it's Dan's birthday the other day. So
He's 24.
24. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that there's
You're
people
a
in the
quarter of the way.
NHL, people in the NHL who have Stanley Cup rings?
You know what? The last 2 days I've woken up both days and then...
Wait, that's a great start. I like that.
It's good.
You woke up. Were you
Both
worried?
days.
Were you worried a little bit that
But
once
what
you
were you
turned
thinking?
24,
Life's
you'd
been the
start
same until
dying?
someone goes, "Hey, you're 24 now," and I'm like, "Oh fuck."
God dang it.
Still hasn't really sunk in.
You defeated 23 because...
Nobody likes you when you're 23.
Exactly.
Yes!
Yeah.
Nice, guys.
Exactly.
That's what we're about here.
Yeah.
Dan, what was I going to ask you about birthday? Oh, yeah.
Birthday.
How many guys in the NHL have won Stanley Cups by the age of 24?
A lot.
A lot. Andrew
Jonathan
Ladd.
Toews, 2 of them.
Andrew Ladd.
Andrew Ladd.
Mike Richards.
No,
Eric Stahl.
not Mike Richards.
2012. With LA.
He's 29.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, yeah, he's young. He's old. Never mind. Mike Richards is
You
29.
know who hasn't won a cup since we've all been born? Those 2, 3... Oh, never mind. This is sad for everybody.
What?
I didn't finish my sentence. The Jets have never won a cup because
Duh.
they weren't real.
Yeah.
The Leafs
St. Louis
or
Blues.
the Flyers
Or the Blues.
Guys, let's start the
There's
show.
lots of
Let's
teams.
start this show.
We already started.
Oh, well, let's start the Jets stuff.
No.
Let's get into
No,
it.
we want to dive deep into your... Are you upset the Flyers don't win? Because at least, they're in the postseason every once in a while.
No, you know
At
what
least
I'm
they have
tired
a
of?
future.
You know what I've noticed though? The first half of the season, Cam just kind of blew it under the rug. He's like, whatever. But now that it's getting later, it's starting to hurt a little bit, isn't it?
It is starting... Okay, this is why it hurts.
And
okay?
they have
Because it's
great
like,
scoring.
Because they're like, oh, let's have career years. Jakub Voracek and Claude Giroux, they're well on their way. I'm not saying they're going to be amazing or anything, but they're well on their way. But it's like, okay, let's put all this talent to waste because we're not going to make playoffs. But then they'll be like, all the players are like, obviously you don't say that in the room. We've talked about this. Like, oh yeah, we're dumping the season. Okay, you don't have any games in hand, and you're 7, 8 points out. You're not making playoffs. Guys, just toss her.
It's not.
Toss her away, okay? We still have a shot at a top 8 pick if we do.
Hey, guys.
Top her away.
I think we're overlooking the fact that Toronto has now slipped into our McKeichel Finn watch now.
No, they haven't. Real?
Yep.
That's not fair.
McDavid.
Guys.
They actually asked him about it on TV the other day.
Guys, but
And
here's
he'd love to play here.
Oh, yeah,
here's the
Love
most
it.
beautiful thing. Is that they have a legitimate shot to get Noah Hannafin.
Pays to be bad sometimes.
Oh my god.
Noah Hannafin, Jake Gardner, Morgan Riley. That's a
Leafs.
good top 3.
Okay, if you guys
He's
can
going
hear
to
that-
have nobody to play with next year, but because they're going to
They're
fire
not
sell
going to play
everyone.
him. They're not going to play him next year, I don't think.
Hey, if you guys hear that background noise, it's a vacuum because there's a house being cleaned, and soon to be the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. Don't you think, Greg?
Isn't that soothing?
Yeah.
You hear that sound? Yeah, it's
It's not the sound of
coming.
silence. Yeah.
it's coming.
That's the sound of, everything getting blown up. But if you didn't know, if this is your first time listening, Last Man in Podcast is actually I don't know what that voice is.
We're a Winnipeg Jets podcast,
What?
allegedly, although,
We're,
let's give you a little backstory last man in. So we all started Jets fans. And then there was an incident.
There's a
In
dividing.
early in November, October? When was that Avs game?
It was like late October.
Late October, where I myself, Cameron, just chose to neglect the Jets for quite some time, and they lost a lot of percentages in the favorite team column.
Yes.
Ergo, the Flyers just did
That
amazingly.
trailed
in
back
that
with me. That one
We
trailed.
have just
yeah.
crudeness. Greg is a Leafs fan.
For everyone
Oh.
that's listening, Greg just opened the door and farted in attempt to not make it stink
There's
in
a
here.
reason there's an explicit tag, and like we only have so many listens.
The
and
only
views,
thing that
you know?
smells worse than this is the Leafs, so it's fine.
It's fitting, I guess.
Yeah,
you guys.
fitting.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
while we're on the subject of the Leafs, I just have to say I saw something funny the other day.
Was it their record?
God, holy
Was it their last 10 games?
yeah.
the wave has hit us.
Good.
Nuclear time. Guys, we're a little loopy because we have time to just sit back. No, there's none of us who have homework because it's reading week up here in Canada.
Or
Oh
like,
my
at least
God.
in Manitoba. I don't know if they have it everywhere.
My eyes are burning.
Good!
Oh.
Is that Mother Mary?
Okay,
Is it?
what was I saying?
Get back on track. Something
What
about
was I saying? Oh,
funny
something
in the
funny.
Leafs.
It was an NHL 15 Twitter poll, and the question was, what would you rather have? And A was a polarizing defenseman, had a picture of Dion Phaneuf. B was an energetic scorer, Phil Kessel. First comment, I would love a polarizing defenseman, but I don't want Dion Phaneuf. I thought fun.
Okay. All right. Let's get back
Well,
on track here.
Thing is I don't think that a lot of teams want Dion Phaneuf. But wait! A lot of teams want Dion Phaneuf.
They'll be able to move
That's a
that
bad
contract.
contract, though.
But they'll be able to move it. They can do it, I believe.
They're going to have to retain something.
Here's the
but
thing.
yeah.
People are saying how they're going to have to retain Kessel's contract. People are saying how they're going to have to retain some of Phaneuf's contract. Still no one is talking about them trying to trade David Clarkson.
Because no one paid David Clarkson that money to do nothing.
No one wants him.
David
He's stuck
Clarkson.
there.
No one wants him.
Pension plan puppets. David Clarkson is a ball rug. He cannot pass.
You
It's
can
so
retain
true.
50% of his salary, and no one would still
He's
take
still
him.
overpaid at 50%.
No one would take him.
That's still at $275 a year. And he's not worth $275
Holy
a year.
sweet mama, it isn't. All right,
Oh.
let's get on
Okay.
this. We got to
Jets-
get on track.
Jets-
Onward, onward
played
with it.
games. They did things.
They
this
played
week.
games. They
Did they
things.
win? Did they win?
I will tell you right now.
Let us have it.
Okay.
So the week in the past.
I'm going to be on Twitter.
Is that
You
it?
guys can...
You go.
talk about this.
Fill us in.
Anyway, so obviously you guys talked about the trade last week, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're past that. First game of the post-Kane era.
What? There was a trade?
There was.
Post-Kane? Is that what we're going to call it? I don't know.
We can just call it...
The unnatural Jets? I don't know.
No. We can just call it...
Anyway, last Thursday, Jets played Nashville. They lost 3-1. I didn't watch this game, but from what I...
Watch the games, Dan.
How
From
dare you?
what I've read about it, Pecorine pretty much stood on his head. If they
As he
basically
does.
what I've surmised from this game is if any other goalie was a net besides Pecorine, the Jets would have won.
Well, Pecorine against the Jets are now
He-
7-0-0.
He robbed Brian. He made a sprawling save on Brian Little, who had an open net with his face, and stopped it.
Brian Little had an open net with his face.
No, like
Oh, Pecorine
got it with his
just
face.
saved it. Okay.
it's just
Let's
whatever.
use my tone catchphrase. That's using your face.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I feel like I just like to go back in time and stop the progress we've been doing. Dan, can I get you to repeat the line, what do we call the new Kane era? Or the Kaneless era?
What did I say?
Changes turn and fears are strange. Change your hands. Sorry, go ahead. I have to keep this streak
Yikes.
alive of singing a
I'm
song.
singing one... What is this, 4 podcasts in a row?
Yes, it is. Steve is German.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Zerman.
So, Preds beat us.
Frolik was the only guy that scored. He's 11th. And what else happened? Tyler Myers got a Shea Weber slap shot right in the knee. So that would have been a great way to start your tenure as a Jet.
Tyler Myers is out for the remainder of the season.
But
Broken
he's
foot.
okay.
Okay.
He's all right. Fast forward to Saturday.
Which was Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
Happy
Day.
belated Valentine's Day, ladies.
Yes, even though...
Hey, I hope everyone would like to know what I did on my Valentine's Day.
What'd you do, Greg?
Lived without a phone for a day. That is rough.
Life is tough.
Yeah.
Life sucks, man.
Like, it's not like I didn't have my... Like, it wasn't the concerning part of, like, who texted me, because, like, no one texted me anyways. It wasn't the concerning
Don't
part...
play this pity party. I will win the pity party. But
Okay.
you continue.
Of, like, what's happening on Twitter. It was the fact that I couldn't play Clash of Clans or Boom Beach. That was the disappointing part.
I don't know if I've got to talk to you guys. Did you guys see the Clash of Clans Liam Neeson Super Bowl
Yes.
commercial?
We all did. It was
Yeah,
Angry
it was
Neeson
excellent.
52.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I will find you.
Anyways,
I'll tweet it.
Jets come back from a 3-1 deficit to win 5-4 in a shootout.
Yes, that was pretty awesome.
Pretty good considering the first half of this game the Jets played pretty crappy. Goals, Thorburn had his 6th because Thorburn apparently is
Playing hockey now without
Playing
Kane
hockey?
around.
Wait,
Yeah.
Thorburn now has 6 and Shifley has 5?
Eight.
Dang it. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know Shifley
Thorburn,
scored.
Wheeler, Drew Stafford had his first goal as a Jet. Andrew Ladd also scored. Stafford had the OT winner too. He was the only guy to score in the shootout. Tyler Myers had 2 assists, and Hutchinson went 4 for 4 in the shootout. Pretty good game. And then fast forward to Monday, which Cam was at this game, quote unquote, he said one of the best games he's ever been
Seriously,
to.
it was awesome.
I watched it on TV. It was a weird game because pretty much everyone got hurt. We'll get to that. But Jets ended up winning 5-4 in a shootout over Edmonton. Closer than everyone probably would have hoped the game was. But
I got
it
everything
was back
I
and
asked
forth.
for.
Yeah, it was good back and forth. Brian Little scored 2 goals. He has 23 now, which ties his season high from last year.
Oh! I thought I had something on. He does.
Yeah.
Matching total from last year.
Career high is 31.
And he
in
did.
08-09.
He scored 22 goals in 24 fewer games than last year. And his second goal of the game was his 145th career goal.
Interesting.
You know what? I would care about 145, but I'd rather hear about 150. So talk to me in 4.
5 goals.
I will come talk to you in 5 goals.
Okay.
You guarantee that's a promise.
What else we got? Tyler Myers scored his first goal.
The place when Tyler Myers
It was
got
loud on TV.
When Tyler Myers got announced in starting lineup, it was loud, and I was like, "Wow, that's probably the loudest it's going to be tonight." And then Tyler Myers scored, and the place erupted, went crazy. Yeah, Tyler Myers. If they decide to keep him, I think so.
I think that. I think that.
He'll be liked.
Yeah.
They already like him.
You know what? I understand it's early to tell, but my personal opinion, I see a higher ceiling for Myers than Bogo. That's just my opinion.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I think he could be-
We'd like to see. We'd all like to see that.
Yeah. Ladd had the other goal. Only goal in the shootout was Blake Wheeler. He deked Victor Fath so bad that I don't
Kicked
know
him
what he
into
did.
injury reserve.
But have you ever seen ankle breakers in the NBA? This was like the hockey version of that.
That looked dope. He looked like everyone was like, "You're faking it. You're faking." I'm like,
No,
"No, I think
I'm
he's
like-
seriously hurt."
They
Like,
showed it
look
on
at
TV.
guy-
He was, it was pretty painful.
Mhm.
Hutchinson went 3 for 3 in the shootout. He's now 14 for 14 in shootouts in his career.
Who has he faced in the shootout? Okay, Detroit.
Detroit, Edmonton,
Boston.
Boston last year, and LA.
Okay.
That's 4 pretty
I was
well.
about to-
Edmonton.
Okay, apart from Edmonton, because that was going to be
They've
my
got
argument.
some good goal scorers though.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
That's
Whoa.
4. That's...
I wanted a few things in
Who
this
do they
game,
have
and I
stopping
got.
the puck now? Because Scrivens and Foss, so they have Bachman.
Bachman had to come into the shootout cold. He did stop both shots. Well, one hit the post and he stopped the other one.
Good for...
This was an injury-filled game that was really weird. Matthew Perreault, he got hit along the boards, like just an average hit, but they haven't said what's wrong, but he's done for the regular season apparently. Lower body injury. They said if he's
Serious lowy body injury.
They said if he's back before playoffs, it won't be much before the playoffs start. So, they might keep him out just to be safe.
And
till
who's the
playoffs
other
start.
one?
Stafford
They still need to
hurt
make
his
one.
wrist, but he's day to day. He's gonna skate tomorrow, and he could play tomorrow night if he feels okay.
Excellent.
So, Edmonton had a couple injuries too, though. Foss got hurt, and Luke Gazdick.
Oh my
You guys-
God.
Whoever passed him that puck should feel pretty fucking stupid.
Okay,
Because
first
that
off,
was a-
Gasnick leading
That was
up
a
to that.
terrible pass.
He had one of the best fights I've ever seen live in my whole life
was
with
a good
Palooza.
fight.
That lasted a while. There's a few moments where I'm like, are the refs gonna step in and stop this? And they didn't, then I'm like, how about now? Nope, okay. And then, when Luke Gaston got obliterated by Dustin Byfuglien, I was getting tans. I missed it. I came out and all I saw was feet in the air, and then everyone's like, no.
Did you see the replay on TV?
Oh, I saw the replay on the
how
jumbo.
he goes into the boards. That was the part that looked
Dustin
like
Byfuglien deserves a teardrop for sending that, for hitting that hard. My goodness, just to strike fear into people's eyes.
The thing was, he didn't even really. He probably didn't hit him that hard. It's just he's so big, and the guy wasn't.
That was 500 pounds medium.
That was a terrible pass by whoever gave him that pass. Because that's the suicide pass. That's awful.
Looking this way, blue line, and there's
That's
space
awful.
in between you and the boards.
You're asking for him to get his.
Buff was licking his lips like he just saw a nice Salisbury steak, and he's like, "Fuck
I don't know if you guys saw this on
Love me
TV.
some Salisbury steak.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but someone on Edmonton took a run at Byfuglien behind our net after that to try and hit him, and one of the cameras, one of the microphones picked it up, and the guy pretty much bounced off Byfuglien, and Byfuglien turned and went, "Nice try, chump," skated away. So, pretty funny.
Dusty Byfuglien.
I must say. So that leads the Jets some injury problems. So I don't know. What are they do, guys? Are they in it to win it?
No, I've
Maybe.
heard another name from Toronto, which leads me in to mailbag. Might as well pull it out.
I'm not done the Jets yet. But
What?
No.
What's the Jets?
What else?
Wrap it up.
What? Wrap it up.
Perfectly.
You can't just lead
No, we
into
gotta
something.
wrap up the mailbag here. I'm taking it.
I don't know. I was asking you a question. What do the Jets do? It's a Jet-related question.
And now we're leading into mailbag.
Yes.
It's trade talks.
I'm not done.
Fine.
Okay.
23 games left. They have 70 points. They figure the cutoff will be 94. So that
How many wins is that?
So that they have to go roughly one game over 500 the rest of the year to make playoffs.
12-10-1.
That's pretty doable.
I think they can do that.
Yep. Pretty doable.
Yes, my answer is yes.
And just one more fun stat because I saw this today on Twitter. They polled a bunch of NHL agents and asked them what the top 10 most frequent no trade request teams were. Top 4 in order: Edmonton, Winnipeg, Buffalo, Toronto.
Well, like where they don't want to go.
That was the 4 teams that are
Good. We don't need you
no
free
trade
agents.
lists.
I don't care.
Most.
That's fine.
Hey, you know how warm it is in Winnipeg right now? Guys, let's tell them. How cold is it, Greg?
Real cold.
No, like...
Oh, like
really cold.
minus 32 with the wind chill. Minus 24.
It's supposed to be minus 40 overnight tonight,
Yes.
so guess what? Plug in your cars, else they'll die.
Hide your children.
When you're listening to this tomorrow in your car, or however you listen to us, remember, if it's cold outside, plug in your car.
A message from Last Man In Podcast.
Anything else you have on the Jets?
No.
That's it?
Just
We
are they in it to win it?
Which leads me into my next thing.
I gotta get scissors.
There
I gotta
might-
open this
okay.
bag again. Okay.
Which leads me
Bag's
into my next
open.
thing. There was a trade this week, guys, that didn't involve the Jets. It involved the Leafs. Moving, one said, Cody Franson, former Nashville Predator, back to Nashville. For what? What, you might ask? Well, Franson and Santorelli to Nashville. For Olli Jokinen,
Yeah!
Brendan Leipzig, and a first-round pick. That first-round pick, however, is probably going to be bottom 10. Bottom 10?
Yep.
Brendan Leipzig may or may not ever see NHL time. He's really small.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Santorelli. Okay, not bad.
Allegedly, they weren't going to sign out. Like they weren't.
No, they
gonna
weren't
be
gonna
able
be
to
signed.
sign either of them though.
Well, the problem, was they wanted to reach an extension with Cody Franson, but they couldn't agree on a dollar value, so he will become a UFA at the end of the year. And he probably won't be staying in Nashville because he's probably going to get paid 6.5 to 7.
You gon' get paid.
Is he that good?
Which leads me to my next thing. The only piece we have yet to talk about was the Olli Jokinen piece. And where is he rumored to go? Here.
No, he's not.
What?
No, he's not.
So
I've read fans saying that, and someone said the Jets don't want him
well, as a third line guy, why wouldn't you?
because you can get Daniel Winnick.
Guys,
Probably-
Damian Cox tweeted it, so it has to be true.
No.
Okay, whoa.
I've heard people
Guy-
on Twitter say that, like fans.
Not fans. I've heard from
Dad,
guys on Sportsnet,
you're
which is
overlooking
the
the
premium place
I
to
don't
watch
know about
hockey.
that.
You're overlooking the fact that Damian Cox tweeted, therefore, truth. Secondly, I'm going to offer you a trade right now. I'm Dave Nonis, you be Kevin Cheveldayoff. This is how it's going to go. Bring, bring, bring,
Oh my
bring.
God.
Phone's ringing. Bring, bring.
Pick it up!
He said hello, but very quiet.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you
Hey,
want?
hey, Kevin, how's it going?
You know.
Okay, so I hear your favorite candy is Skittles. Confirm or deny?
There's rumors.
Okay, perfect. That's irrelevant. I would like to trade with you. What are your thoughts? Just hear this one out. That silence will take as a yes. Okay, so I'm offering you this player is pretty good. I mean, you let him walk away. I can't believe it. But I'm trading you Olli Jokinen, not just Olli Jokinen. I would trade you Olli Jokinen. Okay, and our 5th round pick. Now, I know it's going to be a real good pick, so you better watch out. Real deep draft. 4. Can't believe I'm kind of highballing on my side. I know. But, I mean, let me just get Dustin Buffin. What are your thoughts? Hey, Kevin.
That was sounding me hanging up for everyone close to me.
I wish Brian Burke was still here to help me make trades.
No, it's
I think there's better options.
no, there definitely is.
And
as
now-
long as it's not Antoine Vermette.
Matt Calvert.
And
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's one guy. And now that Perot's out for the year, they already wanted a top
They need
6
it.
or 9 before he was out. So I don't even know what
They're
want now.
gonna move some guys around, or they're gonna bite the bullet and see if they can do it with what they have. They called up Klinberg today, so
Yeah,
it's
that
gonna
First
be
time I've
they did.
heard of him in a while.
Yeah,
You know
Can't
what?
wait to watch Bambi.
I think his ship's passed. Like his ship sailed though. I don't think he's ever gonna.
I think he's here
we'll
out of
see.
necessity.
Might
right
prove me
now.
wrong, but you know,
Yeah.
honestly, at this point with the way Thorburns playing, I'd take him over Jokinen on that line.
yeah.
Like
No, you're right.
I'm just
It was just something.
no. I know.
Somebody
I know.
threw out there like, well,
And hey,
you know.
stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
Well, like
like-
Toronto, the thing is like Toronto got him to flip him for something else, and then someone on Twitter was just like, well, he did like it in Winnipeg and didn't want to leave, so, and they lost Perot, so maybe. But the thing that really is the exciting part of this trade, it's not the Toronto end, because that we'll see in the future, and maybe it is a good trade, maybe it's a bad trade, who really knows. But the thing that we're going to get to see is how much better Nashville is now with Cody Franson and Shea Weber as a defensive pairing. Not only that, Mike Santorelli on their third line.
Well, gives them some more forward depth.
And you think I'm talking monotone, it's because I'm pissed off that the teams around us just keep getting better.
It's Nashville have 4 right-handed defensemen, but one of them's injured, Ryan Ellis.
Yes.
Now they have Franson, Seth Jones, and best for last, Shea Weber.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's mean.
That's real
It's
nice.
tough. I mean, what are the Jets like? Do the Jets get a rental top 6 to replace Perot? Do they get a guy that has some term left? I mean, Ryan O'Reilly's available,
Or do
but
they
he has
package
That's
something?
too much money.
he has another year. Like next year, it's $6 million though, and they're gonna have to pay Bufflin
Which is something I did
7
want
to 8 probably.
Yes.
He actually maybe even 9 or 10. They're talking.
I think the thing with Buffalo.
Someone will offer him
the
a
way that
crazy
they're
one.
talking is someone will offer him that. So it's going to depend how happy he is here. Which, from what I've read, he's very happy here. But
You know what? I think the players who play here enjoy it here for the most part. Like, even Oduya, who was kind of hated, he didn't mind it here. Obviously, Kane didn't like it here because he was the media's dummy.
I just think he didn't like being
He's
the
a lightning rod.
main focus
Yeah.
of the team.
Yes.
But he brought that on himself.
Yeah.
And I've heard from multiple sources, multiple people that have worked inside the Jets dressing room, that this Bufflin Kane thing, I guess I'll
It came
just say,
to a point.
Oh,
this wasn't the first time that something like this had happened with Kane, but it was leaked from the inside. The players wanted it out. Everyone wanted it out. Maybe maybe Cheveldayoff didn't, but he was like, you know what, we might as well just do it now. And then they knew about the injury, and maybe they were like, if we let this stuff out, we'll just dump him for whatever we can get. And you know, like the
And I wouldn't even
Yeah.
consider that a dump because it did.
Yeah,
kinda
it did
help
work
both
out. It was
You
a
know
hockey deal.
It was
Yeah.
it's a good trade. You know, whether they sign Drew Stafford, we'll see. But
They freed up cap.
They
That's
did.
what they did.
They did,
because
'cause
even if they don't sign Stafford
next year, Andrew Ladd, Dustin Bufflin, Scheifele, Trouba, Adam Lowry are all up, and Hutchinson are all up next year.
Yeah.
at the end of next year,
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot.
money.
If you figure Buff could be $8 million, Ladd's probably going to want 5.5 at
Yep.
least. I mean, he's a 25, 30
I
goal
could say
scorer
they
every
could
year.
get
and then
Shifes for a
Scheifele for
bridge.
3.5.
Now this
Trouba, that's the interesting one.
Lowry,
Five.
what two
Two.
and a half?
Well, we'll see what he does next year.
Of
Like, it's
course.
hard. Yeah, and like even with Scheifele, like you could get away with 2.5 because he hasn't produced at a $3 million, and you could probably get away with that with Trouba as well because of his injury problems. I'm saying, you know what? This is if you're healthy, we're gonna give you. You know what? You give him $3 million plus a lot of nice bonuses.
You
Potentially.
have to deal with Jacob Trouba, maybe not Scheifele. Trouba, the possibility
see
is
that
very
being-
real for there to be offer sheet.
Yeah.
Oh,
now I'm just
very
going to
real,
name
yeah.
one team who depleted
Oh,
on defense
let
and
me
already
guess.
has forwards.
Philadelphia.
No.
Oh,
Edmonton.
Yeah.
They already have the forwards,
And
so why not take the hit and lose
And
all
they've
those
done
draft
it before.
picks?
They've offer sheeted before.
Twice, Vanek
Yeah.
and Penner. They won out
Yeah.
on Penner.
So
That would suck.
And it's going to be tough because in my mind, with the Jets dump Bogosian, they're pretty much saying to Jacob Trouba,
You're our guy.
the defense is yours.
We already knew that too.
But Bogo was still a young guy that they had hopes for. So this to me is now to hit. They're saying to him, it's yours.
Did you guys notice? I know this
But-
is only me because I'm really weird with equipment. Okay, Trouba wears Sherwood, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of like Stewart in doing interviews and stuff? He's wearing a Sherwood JT8 hat. So is Sherwood gonna drop a line of like Jacob Trouba clothing soon?
Oh, that'd be
Because
cool.
it's JT8.
Maybe he
I'm-
just gets his stuff customized.
He
By
might.
Maybe you just get
but
Sherwood
it's Stewart wearing it.
Yeah, but maybe it's just like
Yeah, but they're
him
buddies.
giving him stuff.
Yeah, they're buds.
Oh,
They probably live together now because Bogosian's gone.
I heard that.
Yeah, but
I know this is all.
maybe it's Shifley.
Hey,
Yeah, but
you have to
all
say the
allegations?
magic word.
But Stewart
alleged.
But,
Allegedly.
But Stewart doesn't do cocaine, so that doesn't work.
Whoa!
Alleged, sir.
Whoa!
Magic word. Alleged.
Allegedly.
Alleged cocaine, which actually I have something.
We
You
can no.
have to speak
No.
allegedly, and you
You
have to
can't.
Allegedly.
Don't use names. Person A.
Allegedly,
And
person A, who knows some very high people, was speaking to person B and myself, and said that Bogosian was a bit of a party animal,
We knew
and
that.
they think one of the reasons that he was traded is because he was dragging Trouba into it, and they
Yeah.
don't want him to go down that path
I've
because
heard about it, yeah.
he is their guy.
You know what? And I think the thing is like there's
That was
a lot
a
of
scary walk down alleged alley.
yeah. Well, there's always stuff like there's gonna be stuff like that comes out, and whatever. Like it's kind of becoming the same story from everyone, but it might just be like
Because everyone keeps hearing
Yeah.
it, they're just going to keep repeating
And
it.
it could be
Very
now that
true.
he got traded, they have some thing to say. Well, it has to be true because look, he's gone.
Yeah, look at what happened.
I was surprised that he got traded when he at first because I just didn't think they would, but
Oh, well.
Okay,
Okay.
anything else on Leafs or Jets?
are they in
Leafs-
it to win it? Because
Honestly,
the answer is yes.
honestly,
yes.
They're in it
Winnick,
to Winnick,
I would-
Calvert,
honestly,
and blank.
I would say Winnipeg. If out of all the teams, I'd say the most likely place he will end up is Winnipeg.
That's what most
Okay,
people are saying right
yeah.
now.
If you were to put, I think it would work to have a Winnick, Lowry,
Frolik.
third line.
Yep.
But the problem is then, who do you like? Can Thorburn play with Bufflin and Shifley, or if Stafford's fine, then you have Stafford there. But yes, it is very clear they need to bring someone else in, and it sucks because Bufflin's having such a different year, such a great year at defense that he should be back there. But the fact that he's so universal, the fact that he can play both positions, this is when they need his versatility.
He's got to be the most
though?
exciting player to watch.
Oh, he is.
You know what?
One
And it's-
of.
honestly,
year-
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
you could put
this-
Ovi at defense, and I don't think you could put Ryan Suter at forward.
You know what?
No, exactly.
I totally get that his stats aren't up there, but you look at Hart Trophy because Hart Trophy is who is the most valuable to that team. You look at
Yeah.
what he's done for that team this year.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
It's-
apparently, and there's no secret he doesn't like playing forward very much. But apparently today he went up to Paul Maurice before they even talked about anything. He said, "Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it."
Well,
I would much rather have a guy like that on my team than Evander Kane.
you know what? This is the
someone
thing.
who is willing to say, "You know what? I'll do what you need me
Yeah,
to do."
The thing about Buffalo
That's a
though,
team
is
guy.
I think he's really believing in this team now, and I think that the last couple of years have been a struggle for him, and he's finally coming into his own. Everyone loves him. He's no longer a punching bag for the media. Like a lot of guys were shitting on him the first couple of years, and they're realizing his value to the team. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's an MVP candidate just because.
I'm not saying he's a candidate.
No, I
but
know.
I'm saying that's the type of guy he's been.
Is he our MVP? 100%.
Yeah.
Him or Hutchinson? 100%. It's between those two. If you're looking at team MVP, those two guys, hands down. But I like the fact that Bufflin is going up to Maurice and saying, I'm prepared for this because that's what you need. And honestly, for guys like Shifley, Lowry, Trouba, seeing somebody be like, I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do, that's a good thing for young guys to really, then they buy into the leaders in the room as well, because Bufflin's one of those leaders in the room, even though that he likes to joke around, he's still one of the leaders in the room. Yeah. And I think that speaks volumes, and maybe, other guys like Daniel Winnick are going to come to Winnipeg and want to play in this city it's electrifying. It really is.
I even said this before the season started. I think he'd be perfect fit for that bottom six.
Oh, so do I.
And playoffs, I think he'd be the guy they need. He's a Mike Richards for way
No
less.
money.
And probably better now.
See, like, if they don't get Winnick, I would be okay if they went with David Booth.
Yep.
Either one of those two, I'd be happy with. That's obviously because I'm Toronto biased a little bit.
Yeah,
I've
but
been
you
looking
also
at them.
know what you're getting in
Yeah,
return.
you know what you're getting. And, like, you look at other teams in the league, especially, like, a team that's selling right now, which would be Phoenix. What can you really get from them that's, like, going to value your team in the playoffs?
Vermette, but he'd be a rental.
He's a rental for a lot. Like,
Yeah.
they want a first-round pick. And that's where it started.
Yeah, that's
So-
steep.
Although,
Okay.
I don't want to start the rumor mill. Or
Go ahead.
Go
No,
off track.
Go ahead.
Winnipeg just acquired an extra first-round pick.
You're right.
But it's a deep draft.
It's
do
a
you really
deep
want,
draft.
Do you really want to throw away a draft pick on a rental player?
Yeah.
That you
I
probably
don't
aren't
think
gonna
they would
re-sign?
throw it away in a rental, but if they could get a
Okay.
not Phil Kessel, but a player like that, that's where I think the first round pick comes in. But I don't really
Could
see them
you-
doing that because I don't really see the space.
I could see them turning that first-round pick into a guy like you had mentioned, I think, before the podcast or even on the podcast, like a Matt Calvert. Because he's somebody you could integrate into
He's
your
not
future.
Matt Calvert's not worth.
I
the
don't
first
think he's
overall.
worth a first.
They're
but you
asking
can
a
get-
second.
Yeah.
That's
is
fair.
what the price
That's fair.
is.
Okay.
I wouldn't give a first round pick for
or
a guy
you
that's
could-
going to be on your third line.
Maybe there's a package involving Calvert, someone else
For
prospect first, but that's some. Maybe we just don't know that some, or maybe
Yeah,
that first is to boost the value of that other prospect.
Yes.
We don't know.
Now, exciting times, guys, in the NHL as trade deadline is next week. We will be doing a podcast.
Is
Or
it?
no, it's 2 weeks.
2
2 weeks
weeks.
from now. 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks today, I think.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Tuesday?
I think it's Monday. I thought
It's on the Monday
Yeah, it's on
because
Monday.
we'll record Tuesday, right?
we're gonna record the
We
Tuesday.
should live stream it.
That'd be cool.
We should live record like the last hour.
No,
10-hour
that'd be
podcast.
sweet.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
No, the last hour.
Pass
But
the chips.
newly put onto the trade block this year, Antti Niemi. Theory. Edmonton Oilers. 4, Nail Yakupov.
Yep.
And another player. I don't know who, but that's what I could see. Maybe Justin Schultz. Shore up their blue line and add
What
another
does
depth
San Jose
forward.
need though?
Depth forward.
Forward depth.
Forward depth and probably another guy
They
to
could
shore
do
up
it for
their blue line.
Yakupov and even a pick or something. Like not first.
Like, and if you think about it, it helps both teams out. You could have Niemi there, and he is on the block. He
That'd be
is.
sweet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be okay.
And you know what? The great thing is, if that were to happen, maybe Edmonton would start winning games, and then Toronto could slide under, so then Tank Nation could take over. I'm full on this.
Take who?
Take over for Edmonton, and they could get Jack Eichel.
Oh, Tank Nation.
Tank
that was
Nation.
the word you
Tank
said.
Nation.
Yeah.
I see.
That's
Freaking
true.
It'd be exciting because trade deadline's always fun, and it's nice
is.
that the Jets are a buyer for once.
Other guys that are obviously available. Zimnik McCulloch. We're not in the market for defensemen, but he's one of the guys that are available.
He's solid.
A guy that I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets maybe go after would be Yuri Tulusti. I just don't know what the price is for him, and he'd be a guy that could fill in your second line, fill in for Pro. I'm trying to think who else Carolina has. Apparently Jeff Skinner's out there. I don't.
Why aren't the Leafs going after
You wanna use your-
Skinner?
The price
Jets
is
use
up here. I think.
Jets
like
use a
it's
first round pick on him.
Just for Skinner?
No,
Yeah, your
it-
mind?
yeah,
what
it's a
what
lot
else are
more.
we going to throw in?
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the other pieces are going that way.
yeah
For
but-
Skinner.
Yeah, I mean it's just.
But
I think he's too small for
our system.
for where the Jet. For the
And he
Jet
gets hurt,
System.
and he has concussion issues already. So that's one of the other reasons I think they want to move him. A big buyer at the deadline is going to be the Islanders and seeing what they can nab up.
And you know what? I don't think Nashville's done either. They're
No.
going for it.
They're
You guys,
They're
all
going
in
for it.
phone,
Okay, could-
phone line is always open in Philadelphia. Why? Because no one's safe in Philadelphia.
Hey,
It's been like that my
did
life.
you see who got signed today by Philly?
Yeah, Nick Schultz.
Nick
It says
Schultz.
multi-year, but I didn't get the numbers on
It was
Two-
2.25.
2.25 for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
what?
$4.5 million.
Are you kidding me?
2 years.
Yeah.
Is that a cap-friendly contract? Hextall, come on. You're
When
not-
I saw it, it was
Where's
Nick
the 4 mil? 4 mil, 6 years.
It's coming in 2
And
years.
we got 50 mil locked up for
Brent,
10 years
he's
in
32.
straight
A bridge
a bridge
McDonald's.
contract for a veteran. That's what it is.
He's a bridge contract for a
It's fine,
32-year-old.
guys. It's fine. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, I had a Jets question. I totally forgot to ask you guys. We can maybe tie in the trade deadline. I'm just gonna say there's 23 games left. At what point do they cut the goalie rotation and say we're going with the hot guy?
They've already
AKA
done it.
Hutchinson.
They have done it.
They're
My
still,
mind gets over.
They're
still doing
rotating.
2-1.
Yeah.
Fine,
But
7
At what point does they go Hutch is playing?
in 7
Period.
games from now.
So
Yeah.
last 15 games.
San Jose Sharks game because I'll be there.
Now, guys, I've told Cameron this, and you would like to hear this, Dan. I don't think the Jets are going to be safe. They really need to have a great March. A really good March. Because if you've seen their April schedule, it is nothing but playoff teams.
Yeah.
It's Blues twice. I believe the Preds, Calgary, Vancouver, and I think San Jose. No, maybe not San Jose. I think San Jose, and that's
San
all
Jose's
on
on
the
the
road.
17th of March.
Oh, okay. No, on the road.
In my opinion, though,
My bad.
And they've only played them once.
Calgary, Vancouver, San Jose are winnable games.
Yes, they are.
They have a lot of home games in March.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
But all I'm saying about April is they've got a lot of road games against teams that are behind them, that could be potentially behind them, that are very critical. I would hope that they have something locked up by that point. Like, obviously, LA's hitting their hot streak. Minnesota's hitting their hot streak. So it's that West is getting tighter.
It's gonna be tough.
And the team that's slipping right now is LA, which means, or not LA, pardon me, San Jose, which leads us perfectly into the Stadium Series, which those two teams will be playing each other
This weekend.
this weekend.
Thoughts on the jerseys?
I remember. Not the worst, not the best.
I think we talked about them.
They look-
Okay, sorry, my
they're
bad.
okay.
They look like 1992 circa.
Do you guys like the Stadium Series when it's in LA? Because honestly,
No,
I
it's
haven't
in San Jose this year.
Or
It's
in
in
San
San
Jose.
Jose.
Fine.
It's in
down,
San Francisco,
down where
actually,
there isn't
isn't it?
snow.
It's
Levi
whatever.
Stadium. It is in San
Yeah,
Francisco.
it's in the new stadium.
It's whatever.
Now, do you think people wear flowers in their hair when they're there?
No,
The mamas and papas?
no.
Okay.
I don't
Cam,
know.
no.
I mean,
shut up. No, Cam.
You know what? The game will probably be. Well, actually, I don't know how good the ice will be, but maybe
Well-
the game will be a little bit better because usually the games up north, weather's shitty, so the games are not very good.
Like it's
I
a
don't know.
very neat spectacle if you think about it. And you're watching hockey in plus 12-degree weather, which is something I think it's a cool thing, and I don't mind it. And it's a great way to grow the game down south. It's something that is going to bring more people to watch hockey. And whatever you can do to grow a sport, you got to do it. It's a great marketing tool. I love it. Is it the best hockey to watch? No. Is it kind of gimmicky? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's helping grow the sport, and I think it's only going to be good. Next up for the Stadium Series, what I'd like to see, Cleveland. Columbus, right?
Oh, right. I have to
Yeah.
do math in my head.
Yeah.
Geography in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they could do it in Columbus because they have
college
football.
just because Cleveland needs something to do in January because they can't watch playoff football, guys.
That's true. That's true. Neither can they.
The
in
Browns
Philadelphia,
never make the
so that's-
playoffs.
No, I get it. Yeah, I got
Or
it.
you know what? Idea. Atlanta's building a brand new Georgia Dome.
Which looks
Are they?
unbelievably
Yeah.
When's it
big.
opening?
Oh, like 2017. It is
Oh.
like
They
$1.2
might
billion.
It's almost
It's
as
unbelievable.
They might be able to hide the Statue of Liberty inside it. Like only the flame will be in there. So
It's
like if terrorists
ridiculous.
want to bomb, maybe this is a weird
No.
one. You could hide it in.
But here's the thing.
I retract.
They
what I
have
said. I'm
screens
sorry.
on the roof. Like on the retractable roof.
Oh, like in Russia,
Screens.
like that hockey rink
Screens.
in Russia.
Yeah, no.
Edmonton was
Oh.
looking into doing that.
What? Like that's crazy. That's
Edmonton
all I'm
has to
saying.
do something cool. Their team sucks.
And their stadium sucks.
Atlanta and Edmonton, or both?
No, I just mean like it'd be some.
Oh, in Atlanta.
Bring it to
Man, that'd be
Atlanta.
Real.
Just do Calgary against Winnipeg.
I'm just gonna say
Atlanta
that.
Bowl.
I was just gonna say. There you go. I just have a quick, and this is totally.
No one cares. Cam, go.
This is mailbag, but this is not related.
Yeah, I know.
Jamie Benn had his first career hat
No!
trick last
He did.
night.
How dare you!
5 players who have never had a hat trick. Let's see if you guys can guess them. Well, actually, Cam probably knows them then.
Okay, go.
Okay,
Mike, do you know this?
No, I don't know that. But can I say a fact about Jamie Benn before you go? 135 career goals
And never a hat trick.
until now.
These players have.
Sorry,
Some of these players have had.
I guess I finally got a hat trick for you, Cameron.
Yeah, you did.
Some of these guys have had hat tricks in the playoffs, but never had a regular season hat trick.
Okay.
Try and guess the 5.
Okay, let me know era.
They're all
Now.
currently playing the NHL.
Oh,
Okay,
currently playing
I got
in the
2
NHL.
right off the top of my head that I'm certain are answers.
Okay.
Datsuk.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Patrick Kane.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, because one of the...
Those were the two that surprised me.
Parmalanders.
No, you know what? The Datsuk doesn't surprise me.
Datsuk
but
Kane.
He's had 3
Datsuk
playoff
Kane
hat tricks.
Ben.
Ryan Getzlaf.
No.
I don't.
Are you joking me?
I don't know.
It's the ball.
You guys got the big 2, so the other 3 are not. Patrick Hornquist, Mikko Koivu, and Mike Green.
Mike Green. Oh, yeah. He came in the league scoring a lot. Patrick Hornquist.
He kind of.
Yeah, he'll get it. He's with Crosby.
But Koivu, I was surprised.
He's been there a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Jamie Benn, congratulations to you, Gitz.
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Well, since we're just talking about scoring, Nick Bukestad hit 20 goals. He's now at 36 points.
Yeah, we're 3 points away from
2 points.
2 points
Yeah,
away
two
from
points.
a fucking treat.
I said 38 or more. I say very first podcast or like second podcast.
Wasn't
they
their
said
leading score only 37 though?
no, it was 38. Nicky B. So I said 38 times.
He should have
Guys,
to pass it.
Next podcast, we're probably eating treats of pizza.
He should have to pass it. I think
Fine, 39. I don't
okay.
care. He'll
That's
do it.
fair.
Scoring. Again, scored his 570th career goal. He's now 19th all time, past his Mark Recchi.
Just one thing. Who would have thought that the best player on the Avalanche this year would have been Iginla? Probably
not
Probably
me.
no one in this room.
No, I would have picked McKinnon. Sabres scored
I did
their
pick
first
McKinnon.
5-on-3 goal in nearly 2 years. 694 days. That's 1 year, 10 months, 23 days. Or 999,000 minutes. Who would they scored against? I mean, Yager got a hat trick against them. I mean, they snapped streaks. Who would...
Was it Bogo?
Toronto.
Real close to
Was it
Toronto.
Bogo?
What?
The scored Bogo? No.
No, it wasn't Bogo. I don't believe it was Bogo. The Flyers.
He must be
Oh,
pissed.
okay.
Naturally.
He must be pissed going from a pretty good playoff team to
Buffalo. But hey,
his
he's got a
hometown.
chance.
But I mean,
He's got a chance to grow with the team. Now, here's the debate that I want to start right now. We had all talked on this podcast maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago.
How fast Talak's going to hit 30 goals in 41 games? Fastest time to do that in a franchise?
No.
Only other guy to do that is Billy Smith in 42 games?
No.
Oh. Go on.
Was who we thought were Hart Trophy contenders.
Yes.
There's a new person in the running for sure. It's got to be Carey Price.
Oh,
he's up
yeah.
there.
Because Carey Price...
Go ahead.
Are you going to read it?
No, I don't have stats.
Oh, Carey Price recorded his 30th career shutout. Passes Patrick Roy for 5th all-time in
Well,
Montreal.
that's not why he deserves a Hart Trophy. That's career. I
But
mean, like
it's
this year
cool.
alone.
he's
Stats.
like 18-2 since
If
Christmas
he gets
or
4
something.
more, if he gets 5 more, he'll pass Bill Durnan.
Really?
And I just want to say the guy who's in first for Montreal all time, George Hainsworth,
Really?
75 career shutouts for. Right. And yes, most certainly, I will give. I wouldn't give the win to Carey Price, but I'd give him a big nod.
Because you know what?
Him and Rene. You could have 2 goalies as MVPs
Some
this year.
people might disagree with me, but I don't think Montreal. You take Carey Price away, I don't think they're quite as good as they are.
No,
Like,
he's
sure.
definitely a big. He's
Like I
definitely
think
a
they're
big-
considerably worse without him.
I don't think they're a top of the East team.
No.
I think they're a wild card team.
I think they're
I'm with Greg on that
a
one.
wild card team at best.
But hey, look
But
at what
you know what?
Look at what even having a decent goaltender
Most good
does to
teams are like that.
Yeah.
Rangers, Kings. I mean Bruins,
Winnipeg.
Bruins, Winnipeg. Like
We would be in. We'd be
none
in
of
the
those
McDavid
teams
watch,
have
guys.
stars. None of those
I
teams
don't-
have stars. They have good players, but none of those teams have a star, and they're all good.
Guys, I don't want to jump the gun or anything,
So?
but I'm confident in saying if the Flyers had a goalie, they'd win the Stanley Cup every year. Every year.
They
You know what? Steve Mason isn't a bad goalie.
Oh,
He still has more playoff experience than Andre Pavlik.
He's
and
just
like
not a
Hutchinson for now.
particularly good goal.
yeah.
Hey, he
Did
has
you
a
guys
Calder
see
trophy.
Ovi's non-slash on Letang?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Okay, it
Did
was
you
the
hear about
weird-
the Getzlaf
The
thing
Getzlaf
too?
thing was pretty funny. Have you guys followed that?
I heard about Getzlaf. What?
Getzlaf grabbed him in a game and said, "You fucking diver, you're a disgrace to the NHL" or something.
Because he was diving.
Because Ovi does dive. And then Ovechkin was asked about it in an interview, and he said, "Oh, he's probably just jealous that I have hair."
Yeah.
And then Ryan
That's a
Getzlaf
great one.
today tweeted something or sent him a letter to my friend Ovi. I may not have hair, but I still have a lot of great things in my life. What do you wish you had? And he had 2 pictures of him with the Olympic gold medals, a picture of him from the game that they beat Russia in the World Juniors with the score on it. He had a picture of the Stanley Cup, and then he had a picture making out with some hot girl in a pool. And he's like, "Sincerely, your best friend, Ryan."
Oh, like he tweeted it?
Yeah, so I was like, that's...
Keeping it classy. Woo, woo, woo. Wait, what's the question now? Do we have a question?
I don't know.
Oh, we're just sitting in limbo?
No,
What?
well then the slash on Letang.
Oh, right.
And then he goes and scores the game winner, of course. As his
Yeah,
finish.
that was a weird though, because he didn't hike up, he didn't choke up on his stick, he didn't crank back extra. To me, it looked like he was going to hit it. But then again,
What
I
happened?
love Ovi, and it was on Letang, so clean.
Okay, what happened?
Ovi was coming in trying to split the D. Letang kind of got caught up. The puck was there, and then Ovi Letang kind of boxed him out from the puck, and then the puck went to the right, and Letang went to go get it, and Ovi went to go shoot it, but he just got all ankle. But it was only in a shooting position. He didn't choke up on the stick or crank back when you're about to do it.
Slash?
So I believe it.
You don't think it was intentional?
I don't think it was.
Guys,
Hard to say.
Greg.
Washington right now, granted there's still lots of time left, there is a huge potential for a Pittsburgh-Washington playoff series.
That's why.
again.
That's why these new
it'd be as big a
conferences
deal
are set
now
up.
as it was 5-6 years ago.
It'd still be
though.
entertaining.
It'd be entertaining, but I don't think
Why? I think
because that
Washington's
rivalry
deeper.
has completely died out, though.
Has it?
I think so.
I don't think
Has it? I
I
think
like-
last night re-electrified it.
Maybe.
I agree
Maybe.
with Greg.
You know what?
guys-
Both
yeah.
teams are starting to play well. It was because Washington kind of fizzled out for a bit. Now they're back.
Yeah.
They've got a good
Could
team.
be.
I started a new franchise with Washington as my team.
Yeah.
And how good is Andre Burakovsky?
I traded him.
For who?
Jane Schwartz. Straight up.
Yeah, and it worked.
Worked.
Okay, Greg.
Then I also got Jacob Trouba for Dmitry Orlov. You're right.
That's a terrible trade for Winnipeg.
He doesn't have the settings on. What's the settings?
Trades on hard. Medium.
Trouba, though,
They've undervalued Trouba in NHL 15.
His potential is low top 4 defenseman. That's what his potential is.
And his trade value is very, very minimal. It's very easy to trade for.
Second round pick, you get Trouba.
You can trade pretty much that, yeah.
Wow.
Because he's a USHL, he's a USA guy, right? He's NCAA, so they don't really value those guys super high in NHL games. I don't know why. That's just what they do. They have a huge bias to the WHL, of course. My second line right now is Schwartz, Kuznetsov, Scheifele. That was my.
You exclusively trade with Central Division teams?
Only.
Why?
Did you guys?
Why not?
Did you guys know if you punch the Winnipeg Buffalo trade into NHL 15, it'll tell the Buffalo GM will tell you that you're basically an idiot for thinking that he'd accept that trade because they're giving up way too much.
Yeah, well.
So Jets made that all right.
Tim Murray. Take that.
Jets made it all right. It's gonna. I'm excited for playoffs. I think there could be some new good matchups this year. You know what the bad thing is though? Winnipeg, we're probably going to be the first wild card, so we're getting Anaheim or Nashville first round.
Yeah.
Who would you rather see?
Anaheim.
Nashville.
I'm taking Anaheim
Because of the goalie issue.
Only because of the goalie. If it was
I'm not
based
taking
on
the goalie
team,
issue. I want to see Getzlaff and Perry rile up Buff.
if it was based on team, I think
What do you mean based off team?
like players. Nashville
Has the weaker players.
yes, weaker players, but there's Pekka. That's what scares me. So
And I mean, how many bodies are we going to lose to Shea Weber's slap shots?
well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Because you know what, honestly, if you take the goaltending out of Nashville, Winnipeg, the teams are, in my mind, talent-wise, the teams are pretty even.
Yeah,
But-
we spread it.
But then you add Pekka,
That's an upper. That is it.
That's tough.
That's a top 5 goalie perennial.
Yeah.
Perennially? Is that a word? It is.
And honestly, he might be the best goalie. in the league.
Perennially.
Yeah.
Perennial?
Perennially.
I don't know. It's, yeah, I mean, be interesting.
It definitely would be, and I would rather see them make it in that top.
Top 3, so they have home ice?
Not so they have home ice, but so they got to play St. Louis or Chicago.
You know what? Chicago would be a good series. That would be good.
That would
We're
be-
fucked either way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who.
You never know.
Doesn't matter
Hey,
who.
baby steps. First you get there.
Yeah,
You,
you're
you
right.
dip your toes, and
Yep.
then you go to your knees.
You know what?
And then
As
you
long
go
as we don't,
waist.
as
Even
long
if
as we
they're-
don't become Colorado of last year, I'm okay with it.
You know what, though? I think the Jets will, no matter who they play, I think they'll be competitive. Not going to say they're going to win first round, but they'll be competitive.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Colorado overachieved last year. I don't think the Jets are overachieving. I think they're right where they should be with the players ahead.
Okay.
So I personally, I think they'll be okay next year. But
Fair.
Thrashers were good
Understand.
one year and
Now,
fired their coach 8 games into the next season. So
well, it's nothing like what Lou Lamoriello would do, which was fire your coach before winning the division with only 8 games left in the season.
when did he do that?
A couple years ago, I believe. Right?
Like 2002 or
He fired
6.
someone with 8 games left.
8 games left, and they were leading the division.
Did they make playoffs?
Oh, they won their division.
They go to the Cup final that year.
No, that wasn't the Cup final year. That was a different year.
What? I don't remember that.
Yeah, because Lou Lamoriello's a crazy son of a bitch.
Did he coach them in the playoffs? He damn right he did, didn't he?
Probably, yeah.
He wanted all the
He
glory.
wanted the
Now-
glory.
Obviously, since we're still talking about Jets, as you can tell, we're a Jets Center podcast.
Well, it's playoff time. We got to talk
Nick
about one team that's going to make it.
Ehlers.
Hey, sure. It's a fact. Go ahead.
I was just saying Nick Ehlers sets the consecutive point streak by Halifax Moosehead with 30 straight games.
30 straight games. Previously held by Jonathan Drouin, 29 games. And in that streak, Ehlers put up 68 points. That's a lot of points.
How many points does he have this year? Like 90?
He's averaging just under...
Just over 2.
Just over? I
He's
thought it was
over
just
2.
under.
No, he's over 2.
Now?
I'll check. Hockey
Get these
DB,
stats.
go. Guys,
Sportsnet told me he was over
The
2.
QMJHL record for consecutive points is 50, and it's held by Alexander Radulov. While you're getting that, just weird stat, well, kind of awesome. Johnny Gaudreau took his very first NHL penalty in his 57th game played.
Wow, good for him.
He's tiny, so I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't taken tripping.
Remember last year, Ryan O'Reilly took his first penalty,
On
3
a
games
broken
left in
streak.
the
And it
season,
wasn't even-
and it was delayed game.
He didn't
It
even
was a
know.
broken streak.
Is that what it was?
Broken
Yeah.
streak. 76 points in 38 games. He's exactly 2 points per game.
Wow, sweet mama.
Look
Um,
at that.
28 goals, 48 assists. In 38 games.
You
That's
guys, he's
pretty
put
good.
up some have you seen those once per week? There's a highlight reel,
Goal.
something from Ehlers.
Same with McDavid.
Something.
And you know what? I think his play has that. I think that made it a little easier for Chevy to get rid of Kane.
Yeah.
And this
I
is
think
what
it
I'm
did.
thinking with the Jets. I'll leave the Jets after this, but I think it's only either going to be Stafford or Frolik. It's going to be one or the other who
Yes.
they sign.
Yeah,
Obviously,
agreed.
right now we're incredibly biased towards
And
Frolik.
you know what?
Because we've seen Frolik a lot more than Stafford.
But it might be easier to
But-
get a deal done with Stafford than
Because
with
he's a
Frolik.
little older.
I think Frolik's going to get offered something higher somewhere else.
Yeah, like
And you have to keep in mind, he's always the guy that gets bumped down to the third line when someone
Is hot or
yeah,
something like that.
So
Of
you know,
course.
does he want to?
who would you rather pay $5 million to, Frolik or Stafford?
Oh, Frolik.
Oh, that's tough, man.
If that's the going rate, a 3-year contract,
Five.
$5 million for both of them.
For
That's
$5
probably
million.
what.
Just in
Yeah.
this situation,
That's
of course.
Yes, a $15 million contract over 3 years.
I'd say for Elite because you can play him penalty kill and defensively, and Stafford's supposed to be more of a goal guy.
And of course, we haven't seen
So-
Stafford in all these situations yet, so we're biased towards Frolik. But even still,
Who knows?
I'd take Frolik.
Maybe Chevy can swing something and get both of them. You know, in my head, I think I see Bufflin's extension getting done this summer.
That's best case scenario.
I think they'll leave Ladd. I think they'll leave him. Maybe not, but I
But
see
then
Buff
rumor
getting
mills
done.
will come up at trade deadline. I'd love to. I want Buff.
You know,
summer.
honestly though, Ladd, they could get rid of Ladd. They'd probably be okay.
See, I think
a consistent
I think they're
producer, but-
3 years away. The next contract for Ladd personally is going to be. I want it to be around 2 years. I know he'll probably want term, and
So
that's the
4.
big thing. But I think 2 years, and then you can start seeing the guys like Ehlers and Patan and those guys come up, and they'll probably have other guys in the system that are ready to move up as well. Like Scott Kosmachuk, who no one talks about at all.
He's not doing that great.
I
is
don't
he?
think
No.
he'll ever get here.
Yeah, it's very
trade
questionable.
bait. If I was them, I would throw him in.
See, it was funny. Yesterday, I was looking through Winnipeg and who I could get. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, Winnipeg has Scott Kosmachuk. Totally forgot.
because they've even slotted Brendan Lemieux higher than him.
Yeah. Once again, it's all.
Also, age
Okay.
has a big thing to do with that
Yeah.
too, right? Because Brendan
Brendan
Lemieux
Lemieux's-
is
But he has more
18.
potential.
Of course, yeah, but yeah, that's.
So-
I'm
But
not
everyone
denying
has
that.
potential when they're 18.
Yeah, I can't see him ever making it here.
I can. as long as it's not a Patrice Cormier role, I could see him making it here as a fourth
I
liner.
think that's the
third
only
liner.
way he ever gets here.
A third liner.
Well, that is a Patrice Cormier role, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, like a
oh,
third,
you mean
third or fourth.
exclusively in a...
But
yeah.
like the way that we've treated Patrice Cormier is he's like our first call up and then our first send down kind of guy.
He's the guy that he probably could be on the team, but they just don't have enough room.
Yeah.
And depending on what team he is on, he'd be on that fourth line already. But because Winnipeg, not that we have an abundance of talent, but we have enough that we don't need
The
his
fourth
services.
line we have, they don't play much, but they're better than they get credit for, and they do their role well.
So
Perfect. That's exactly how I describe it.
before we head into the Michael Finn watch, we have one more thing to cover, and that was the very devastating and surprising passing of Steve Monador of the Calgary Flames. Not obviously a current player, but he was a past
Most
player.
notably.
Yeah, most
notably.
notably of the Calgary Flames. So, obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to his family. A little shocking, but once again, it's one of those things like a few summers ago where it just seems the fighters are they're passing away.
There
Whether
needs
it's
to
from
be
natural causes,
not
or-
change rules or
He had,
anything, but more awareness.
Because he had several concussions. He had concussion problems. He openly said he had dealt with depression and stuff. So I know nothing's come out saying that it was any suicide or anything like that. So we can't.
No,
but
it's
it's sad.
it's a tough situation, and obviously we don't want to speculate on here, and we don't want to even use the A word, saying allegedly this happened or allegedly that happened.
Did happen.
Allegedly, like he
This
killed
is
himself,
why-
Oh,
or like
yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
whatever. We won't want to even say that allegedly. So we're just gonna leave it with the fact that thoughts and prayers from the podcast go out to him and his family, and to all of his friends. And it was great to see all the support from around the league. Now, without further ado, Michael Finn watch.
Okay,
Unless you have something, do you have something else to add before?
I do.
Okay, what?
Well, mark my thought. They finally got
Oh,
the
yeah.
extension worked out, 16.9. And I'm just going to
Not
name...
a bad deal.
I'll name... Actually, you know what? All these injuries directly affect the Jets in terms of their enemies.
Okay, go
Tyler
ahead.
Sagan's out 3 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury from a hit on Dmitry Kulikov, who got 4 games.
Bye Dallas.
Big role. And you know what? Not even just the points. He's been winning he's gotten great on faceoffs this year.
Because you know what, they're struggling to win with him. So without him,
Alexander Edler, Vancouver Canucks, is out week to week with an upper body injury. And the Ducks, they are now actually searching for guys to replace these guys. Matt Bolesky, 2 to 4 weeks with an upper body injury, and Sammy Vatanen, 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury. That's monster loss for the
Ducks apparently were going hard after after Tyler Myers. So
Oh.
I think Winnipeg kind of threw a wrench in their plans too.
Oh, and missed milestone there, but congratulations goes out to Alain Vigneault, who earned his 500th win. He's the first coach to earn that win behind a Rangers bench, like as the acting coach. He's the 21st coach to do so. He did it in 942 games.
Yeah, he's only been coaching since post the 04 lockout, I think.
Now, Greg was very excited to let us know who's in the Michael Finn watch.
Yep.
Can you let us know who's in that Michael Finn watch?
So we'll start at 5th and go down to 1st as we always do. We'll go Toronto,
Wow. I don't want to see him there.
Arizona, Carolina, Edmonton,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. There you go. And great thing, guys. Great thing's going to happen. Toronto plays Carolina next. If they lose that game, then Carolina goes and they play New Jersey. If there can be a 3-point game there, perfect. And then Toronto can just slide behind Carolina. Then just keep sliding. Get Noah Hanifin.
Perfect.
You know what? It's
You
kind
know
of...
that the Leafs are going to pull it up a little bit, start winning some games,
No,
and
they're
finish
not.
like
No, they're not.
21st.
This is the year that their team is actually just
Now,
so bad.
I agree with Greg, but that's the taste that's been in the Jets fans' mouths the last 3 years, where it's like, they're right on like, okay, so we can keep winning. Let's do it. Let's keep our pride. But now we don't have that higher pick. Now, isn't it a fun being on the other side, though? It's fun being on both sides of playoffs. But isn't it fun for Greg and I being on the other side of like, oh, they lost. Yes. Again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel when the Flyers lose now, because I want me some Oliver Killington in my life.
But, as proven with Winnipeg, the 5-year rebuild doesn't sound appealing, but if done right,
It can work.
it can work.
All right. Closing words, Greg?
Thanks for listening, guys. Check us out on Gmail, on Twitter.
LastMinuteNPC@gmail.com.
Yeah, and then
LastMinuteNPC
Twitter.
at Twitter.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you leave the sign off to Greg. Just
No.
Greg's
That's-
done
Confusion.
losing it.
Confusion.
Guys,
Losing it.
I'm fine. I'm just, you know what? Dan's mom said she has ice cream cake for us, so I'm really focused on the ice cream cake. So I'm going to leave you guys all with this. I bet you wish you had ice cream cake right now, didn't you? I bet you do.